All right, we are live. This is Alicia Stringer here, always empowering success dreams to you guys. We are on the Millionaire Mindset Hangout, and I'm so excited. We have a special guest today, and this special guest, Nicole Cooper, I met years ago, probably about 2009, 10. I don't remember when she first started online,
Oh,
and it inspired me. Hey, Nicole, to see her. I remember she was making all these videos from her journey story from place to place wherever she went, and just inspired me going, I can do that. That's just something so simple that made it that we can do this. We can make this business work. And it always kind of like, how can this little piano teacher make it like this little big businesswoman or whatever? But she really made it in a way. And I'm excited to hear her shift today that she's going to share with us. And let me, before we get to Nicole, let's introduce our panel over here. So let's go over to Keisha or Greta. It's been on our inside the Millionaire Mindset, and excited to share where we've been.
oh, I'll come on out. Hello, everyone. Keisha Parker here, and as Alicia shared, we are so excited to have powerful mompreneur, internet marketing coach, and trainer Cooper. I was gonna say S. Cooper. She is so fantabulous. I'm so excited, and I know she's gonna have so many major nuggets for you. What I love about what Nicole shares is she helps you use your story or helps you to look within and see what your gifts are, see what your talents are, see how you can use your voice, not someone else's voice, not someone else's style, your style to be the success that you want to achieve. So guys, you want to stay tuned. You want to listen to what she has to share and hear about her powerful shifts to help her realize that it's her story that will give her the success that she wants in life. So guys, Greg, I'll let you come on in.
Awesome, Keisha. I love what you just shared, and it's so true. I'm so excited for everybody joining us today because you just said it. You just hit it right on the head, Keisha, when you talked about just how Nicole just absolutely hones in on each individual and just it is so inspiring and uplifting and motivating and just makes you just realize how powerful you are and that your uniqueness, that your individuality, that you here right now, you were here, you were born for a reason and you have a purpose in this life and you are here to make a difference in this world. And so I am super excited. If those of you who don't know me, my name is Greta Campagnolo and I am a busy mompreneur of 6 amazing kids. And I'm just super excited to be on here with Nicole and all my lovely ladies as usual, and just so excited to hear from you, Nicole. So thank you for joining us today, and take it away.
I'm so glad Valerie's not on here. I think she had an emergency call to go. She's usually on here too, and she shares always their question of the day of what is the empowering shift that created you to get to that millionaire mindset. So many people don't even think of a goal to reach a million, but what was that shift that enabled to reach your millions in your business or reach to that next level? Nicole coming out there. Is she there? Hey, Nicole.
I'm shutting down apps and stuff because my computer, I've been working so much, it's full. So forgive me because it's stumbling over here, and I'm like, I don't want it to shut down. So I'm trying to close apps and making sure that we are good to go so that I don't lose you guys. But I'm sorry, Alicia. Can you rephrase that because it was just stumbling just a little bit?
Okay. Yeah, when you're trying to get so much going, I understand. She is the woman to understands to keep things going. So we want to know what was like an impactful event maybe in your life or what happened in your business that you can share with us to help people get on that millionaire mindset, to help people share, understand the shift that you had transitioning from in your life to help you reach that millionaire status or mindset to get you to that next level in your business. What enabled your success? I know there's some people looking for books as you're talking, as what was there something kind of resources or tools, and we're always looking for some things, some ideas like that in this Hangout.
You know what made a difference for me was my first $15 check. When I earned my first dollar online, I was like, this works. You know, some magical whoop-de-doos, and I've learned that success comes in breadcrumbs, right? It's like a little trail that leads you along the way. It's not this magical occurrence that like God gets a megaphone and he's like, you're going in the right direction. You know, it's not like that. It's small successes that will create big wins. And so for me, honestly, my first check, which was $15, changed my life. And I still remember that check. It was my first affiliate check. And I was literally is coming out of the computer. And it made me shift from checking to see if this works to saying, this works, I'm going to treat this like a business. And that was a shift for me. I mean, it wasn't like, I mean, of course, there's been a series of events that have shifted it, but you know, it's kind of like giving birth to a child. There's nothing like those fresh new moments as a mom where everything's brand new to you that is so exciting, right? So it's like you lose that along the way because you get accustomed to your kids being there and you get accustomed to your success in this journey. So when I think about the massive shifts for me, it was in the beginning when I first got started and I had those small wins that made me realize, hey, if you treat this like a business, it'll turn out to be a really phenomenal opportunity. I had no idea where it was going, but that $15 check changed my life.
That's amazing, and it's amazing for people to do with those small wins. You're like, okay, I got it, now what? And creating those new little shifts that empower us to take that next level, to go, okay, I got $15. Should I really share that? Like, this is the hugest big deal, you know? Or should I, you know, what should you actually do to get you to that next baby step? Should I share the next $15, or will that $15 help me get another $15?
You know what? I think that's the mistake people make, is that they feel like it has to be a big to-do in order for them to share it. And when I think back on like what got me here, as a matter of fact, one of my teammates asked me, Nicole, what would you say would be 3 attributes that got you to where you are? And I told her the first thing was just having a vision, right? I knew ultimately where I wanted to go, and it didn't have anything to do with internet marketing. It was speaking, impacting lives, blah, 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 blah. And then I told her, as a result of having that vision, the opportunities presented themselves to me, like internet marketing and like, you know, our company and all these things that are aligning in my life to lead me in that direction. I said that was number 1. Number 2 was being myself, right? It wasn't adopting a persona of trying to be somebody else. It was, if you are around me at home, how do I act? I'm goofy, I'm excited, I'm always sharing stories. So all I did was take my stories of what happened to me and I started sharing. Hey guys, guess what? I just got my first $15 check. Now, I gave the same response to YouTube that I would give to my husband when I got the check in the mail. You know, it was me getting excited about the journey, what was happening. It wasn't me trying to adopt, let me fake it like I'm a millionaire so I can make people think I got big money when my bank account is in the negative. Like, it wasn't, I didn't try to be big before I grew into that. I acknowledged where I was and embraced it. And it just allowed me to keep being open and transparent and sharing, and that kept stair-stepping me, because I tell people, you know, it's like your role is not to come across as, I got it all together, you better listen to me. It's, listen, I've come from where you're at, let me go check this thing out. I'm going to come and tell you about it as I figure it out. And if you approach it that way, people respect you because they're walking, they're letting you lead them, because you're showing them that, hey, I'm a couple steps ahead of you. So as I make these steps, I'm going to turn around and make sure if there's a ditch right there, I'm going to hold your hand and make sure you can step across because I just tripped in that ditch. It's like we just get too beefed up about expertism and guruism and, millionaireism. And we're real people living real lives. And we got to remember, the person who's watching these videos can't relate. I don't even like talking about big checks anymore. I talk about, when I address people, I'm like, hey, want to make an extra couple $100 a month, $250, $500? Because despite the fact that I want to target people who want to make big money, most people shut down the minute you talk about large dollars because their brain hasn't processed that this works. Their brain is still saying, you mean to tell me you sit at home in an office all day on a computer and you make money? How did that work? Right? So before I jump into I make thousands of dollars, I made $15. And let me show you how. And it's like $15. How do you make $15? It's not about the money amount. It's about the concept of what we do that's revolutionary in the minds of people, and they can't embrace the fact that we literally can sit at home in our office and work all day and make money. Like, I'm sure. I live in a new city. We've moved every couple of years since my husband and I have been married, and we've been married almost 12 years. So we're always in a new environment where we're meeting new people who have no idea about our background, where we came from, what we do. And when they're around us, we don't talk about it. The only way they know what we do is if we're friends on Facebook. And it's funny because even in that role, when they get around me, they're like, I saw your post. What do you do? I saw you were in Florida. What do you do? And I say that to say that they still can't figure out what I do.
Yeah.
So it's like, they're like, they never leave the house unless they're going to get the kids. Both of them, we were at a friend's house on Saturday night, and we were watching some football games. This is UT, Longhorn State. And one of the guys who used to play football invited us over, and all these UT people were there. And my husband usually goes and hangs out when I'm at home working. And so when I got there, one of the ladies was right behind me. She was like, so your husband was telling me he works at home and you work at home. Like, what do y'all do? How do you do that? And I didn't even go into detail. I'm like, yeah, I'm an online marketer. And I just left it at that. And she was like, okay, all right, okay. But just for them, the mind can't comprehend this environment and this concept without it being connected to a corporation or commuting, for a big Fortune 500 company. So I don't try to create this persona of I got it all together and got it all figured out. I just give people very practical approaches because I understand that they're not ready for that. So I say all that to say, for the newbies, understand a gazillion times more about this world that we're in than the people who are on the outside looking in. Give them a chance to get connected by being willing to keep things simple and start small. And if you start small, you'll find that that's what's going to be an attraction force greater than you trying to that you got it all together.
You're right. It's a different perspective, and making that shift for people to understand, you might as well sometimes not even try to even approach it that way unless they're they've gone through figured out the funnel or something. I don't know. But I like to figure out people's funnels. How did they target that person, and how did they take them and transition to a different, see what they do? And it is a mindset shift that you have to kind of take people through to get to a different perspective and world. And I know there's some different resources and stuff we use and exercises sometimes we've learned through this Hangout. So if there's some past ones, you guys can look at different leaders. They've shared either some different exercises or tools and resources. Would you happen to share, maybe some kind of tools or resources someone can go through and really kind of make a shift from like a corporate world, or how they can get to the millionaire mindset and making their own income either online and having that power that they can do this on their own, just unlimited resources going, you can make that $15 today, and that shift to doing deciding that I can do that, and resources to get them to understand them can be very powerful when they finally see some things click.
So you want me to share some resources or maybe some
Yeah,
books?
books or what you use to keep you going.
Well, I am good old-fashioned vision. It's
Mhm.
I think everything starts within the world. But you guys said it best when you started. I'm somebody who is all about aligning with your life's mission. I feel like everything we do falls in alignment with that. And I say that to say that even if you think you don't know, even if you feel like I don't know what my purpose is, I don't know what my mission is, you have a sensitive connection internally based on how you feel, the response that your body gives when you're in certain circumstances. So, for example, when we are in an uncomfortable situation because we can sense that there's something greater for us, right? So if we're on a job and we're in a cubicle and we're doing work that does not create a level of fulfillment or joy, that is a cellular connection and a spiritual connection to a divine source where it's giving you a signal. That's a signal. Hey, red flag, red flag. There's more in you than what you're doing. You should go search for it. And that is an indication to go begin to look or to ask the questions or to go and pursue. But if we ignore that and then we start focusing on everyone else and then we're saying, well, let me do what they're doing. Let me do what they're doing. Let me read that book because they're reading it. It's not an aligned connection that your spirit is giving you to find the answers that's going to be beneficial to you. So I say that to say that I believe it all starts with spirit. It all starts internally. Like a lot of times, like my team, they come to me and they say, Nicole, what is your process of how you do what you do? Can you give us a step-by-step process to how you shoot videos with confidence and how you do this? And as I tell them, look, I can give you a formula, but if there is no internal connection to what you're saying, to what you're doing, it comes across. If there is internal confusion, if there's internal doubt or insecurity or whatever, it shows. So what that means is that you have to get aligned with who you are so that you can start connecting with yourself better, where you are in tune to what directions or what decisions you should make or which ways you should turn. Like we make this seem like it's a separate entity from ourselves and we have to go find it. But it really is in us. It gives us tons of, the Spirit gives us tons of signs, the feelings, So I say it starts with that. It starts with identifying those very vivid and clear pictures in your imagination. If you don't feel like you yet understand your vision, or if you don't feel like you yet understand your purpose, I want you to think about, what do you think about when you imagine? What do you think about when you daydream? What do you think about all the time that you wish you could do but you feel you could never do because you feel like it's not for you because you're not good enough or qualified? That is, I tell people, dreams are indications from your spirit. Dreams are clear messagings from your spirit about what your soul is writing about you. It's telling you your dreams, your visions. Those things are telling you what you were born to do. And so I try to say this, and I don't know how it comes across because it might be crazy because it's so natural to me. But I tell people, listen to what your spirit is telling you, and if you quiet the noise enough, what I mean is if you kind of cut things off and be okay with being in the stillness of life sometimes, you'll hear it. You'll sense it. You'll feel it. And listen, sometimes it has nothing to do with money. Sometimes it has nothing to do with your career. Sometimes it has everything to do with the mission. It might be a mission to save children who are in foster homes. It might be a mission to go overseas and build wells. It might be a mission, for me, it was a mission to impact lives. All I saw when I was 19, I remember so clearly, I was sitting in college. I hated school.
I could never figure out why I was accepted to college, because it just was not an ambition of mine, but it was something my mom spoke in my life, and it happened. It just kind of manifested because my mom spoke it so much that it just happened. And I ended up in college, and I would sit in class, and I would just daydream. And all I would see is a microphone, a stage, and a spotlight. And I remember at that age, I was so curious, why am I born? Why am I here? I hate school. I'm surrounded by a bunch of very intelligent, smart people who know what they want to be when they grow up. I've changed my major 50 times. None of them apply to me. I don't fit in here. I have no idea what I'm going to do with my life when I graduate. But I kept seeing this stage, a spotlight, and a microphone. And I was like, what is that? What? I don't know what I'm supposed to do with that. And here it is now, some, 18 years later, I understand, right? That was a sign, that was an indication, even in my absolute cluelessness, it was a sign of what was to come in my life, and it made me search and seek, what does that microphone mean? It was like my favorite show, The Amazing Race, right? It made me go search, what is the microphone? What is the spotlight? Am I supposed to be a singer? Nope, I suck at singing. Am I supposed to be an actress? Well, I tried that too. I didn't like that. Am I supposed to do broadcasting? Am I supposed to do television? I did all those things. I tried broadcasting. I worked with Steve Harvey. I did television. I worked with CBS. I got internships with BET. I did all these things to figure out, what does this microphone mean? I specialized in radio, television, and film. Then I thought I wanted to be a color commentator and be, working on the sidelines of NFL Monday Night Football. I just trying to figure out, what does the microphone mean? And little did I know it would lead me to an iPhone that was nowhere near a thought at the age of 19, a camera, the internet, YouTube, Empower. Little did I know it would lead me and align me in this direction for this to match what I saw at 19, 18 years ago. So I shared that because I feel like sometimes we look at other people and say, God must have gave them a little bit more. God, he likes them more than he likes me because he didn't give me a talent. Or he didn't give. I used to say that. I used to say that all the time about my friends. They could sing, they could dance, they were smart. And I was like, I can't do none of the above, and I hate school, so I'm in trouble. And I didn't think I had a talent or a skill or a future. So that's why I'm so adamant now about vision. And I like to tell people that because, look, I have a ton of books behind me, right? I mean, this is just one of 6 bookshelves that I have in my house, okay? These are just the books that I'm, like, referencing when I need to get stuff done or I need them now for business. But I tell people that because when you connect on that spiritual level of, like, that searching and seeking internally, what happens is you start finding books that are relative to what you need, and you will open it up randomly in a bookstore and hit that page. As a matter of fact, I had bought this book. I was in Barnes & Noble the other day, and I was struggling with something. And I went looking for a book, and I saw this book title, What's Really Holding You Back? And I was like, oh, my God. I was just asking myself, what is holding me back? And then I opened it up, and the first thing I saw was this.
Do you talk too much?
This is the thing I opened. And it says, the subtitle says, Practice the Art of Keeping Quiet. And what that message was to me, I was going through a battle because I was working with, or just kind of at a stage where I was going to different people, telling them what was on my mind, just seeking approval. I was thinking about doing this. I've been thinking about doing that. I was just going and telling people what I was thinking. And repetitiously, my husband would tell me, he'd be like, Nick, I hear you on the phone having the same conversation 5 times with 5 different people. Stop. And I was like, but I just need somebody to talk to. He was like, just stop. And I'll be like, I don't understand. What do you mean by stop? Like, I just got to talk to somebody. And then I go into Barnes & Noble, and boom, I run into this book, and it says this. It says, shut up. Stop talking to people and seeking approval and just do what I told you to do. And I realized that was my answer. I needed an answer for that stage in my life, and I started understanding that people don't know what you're supposed to be doing. They can give you all the advice, insight, and most of it was good counsel, but it didn't apply to me because it was based from a perception of their human limitations. So it was me understanding, all right, that was my issue. Stop telling everybody or those who you thought were your confidants what you have in your mind about what you want to proactively do. And so I say that to say that when you connect with vision first, and this is a millionaire mindset connection, because, you know, we talk about books to read and all this stuff, but if you're not internally aligned, then it gets very hard to make decisions. And when you don't make decisions, you don't make progress. And a lot of people, when you look externally for answers, you don't trust yourself and you don't trust your spirit. You don't go with your gut. You don't listen to what the spirit is guiding you and telling you to do. And so you live your life like I was at that point in my life, not listening internally, but seeking external counsel. You start following what everyone else is saying to the point where you get a confused mind, and then a confused mind does nothing. So I say start with the vision first. And then once you do that, you know, the second thing that I suggest, I'm a big person about prayer. You know, seek divine universal guidance. You know, when we talk about money, I feel like so many people love the concept of money, but they hate the concept of self-value, self-worth, of identity, of an internal awareness of an assignment. And what they don't understand is that your value, your internal connection to your assignment is what attracts the money. Because money is a tool. Money is designed to develop you into becoming more of who you already are, and it's designed to be a tool to create a platform to create resources. So it's like you can chase money all you want. I tell people you can either chase it or you can attract money. When you chase money, it's like a cat. It will always run from you.
Mm-hmm.
But when you attract money, it's like putting milk out for stray cats. They'll always be sitting at your door. So you have to identify if you're chasing or if you're attracting. And the way to attract is to get connected to the value within you that you can create with the world that will in turn exchange a financial resource with you for the value you bring to the world. That's why you'll hear people like Jacqueline Kennedy Onassis who said, I can go bankrupt, and all it will take for me to do is to go down to Wall Street, go to the most expensive restaurant on Wall Street, go in and sit down at a table, order a glass of water, and listen to the conversations around me. She said, I will walk out a wealthy woman again. Why? Because she understood how to take the wisdom from those in her environment of influence and incorporate it in her life, and execute it in her life to put herself back on top to develop and redevelop the wealth, because she understood the value within. She just needed a surge of where are we now, like a reset button of conversation. And so when you talk about you being able to attract, until you get this right, it's just not going to lead to anything else. Now, if you want to talk about books, you know, there's the traditional Think and Grow Rich. But I will tell people my favorite book in the whole wide world ever is called The Dream Giver. And I can't remember. I always forget who wrote it. But that book changed my life. It came to me at a time where I actually loved the book so much, I wrote the author a letter and was like, do you mind if I speak about your book? Bruce Wilkinson. I always forget it. Yeah, Bruce Wilkinson. I've read it quite a few times. And I love the book so much. I was like, I want to be an evangelist for this book and travel around the world and talk about this book. But The Dream Giver, and I've shared this on stage a couple of times, but it's about somebody who lived in the land of the nobodies, and he really wanted to become somebody, but the more he told the nobodies, the more they became border bullies in his life and tried to keep him from seeking the pursuit to become a somebody.
Powerful.
Wow.
So the somebodies of the world need to go and read this book so that they can overcome the border bullies of the land of the nobodies.
Powerful, powerful. And I love it. Go ahead, Greta. You wanted to say something.
I'm sitting here and my hands like starting to cramp. I've been writing so many notes, and I'm just so grateful, so thankful to be here and to be able to listen to you live. And those of you out there, I know you feel exactly the same way, and you're busy taking notes. If you haven't, come on now. seriously. Or maybe it's just better for you to just sit and actually be able to take it all in. Sometimes people are able to absorb more that way, and then you can come back and watch the replay and then take your notes. So it's just wow. I love what ends up coming out of people. You know, just to hear you just speak from your heart and allow your spirit to speak through you, allow that spirit guidance to speak through you. I just absolutely love everything that you have to say, everything that you're about, your energy. You're just such a beautiful soul, and I just love it. Thank you.
You, Greta?
Definitely. And Nicole, I wanted to, for all of the, I know a little bit about you started out in network marketing. I think Greta shared in her promotions in the event how you realized that internet marketing is more you. You know, like you said, being, and you talk about sharing your story. But what we market to, I'm from that industry as well, network marketing. You know, we both were part of the same companies, which is how I was familiar with you. But what I want you to share, because there's network marketers out there watching this who just are used to the old-fashioned way of marketing. They don't understand the YouTube. They don't understand that could be their presentation. They don't understand that how you share about their story because they're so busy duplicating what the leaders that they're seeing. And you could just share with them. I know you shared a lot today. The importance of using internet, using system blog to share their story, and how powerful it would be working with people that have similar beliefs and that know the importance of aligning themselves and getting your personal development right. Just some of those things you shared. You can just talk to some of those network marketers out there where you came from industry. Say, listen, guys, you have to jump online. You have to get online and figure it out.
Absolutely. You know, it's so funny. When I think about the word network marketing and traditional network marketing, I cringe because I'm just like, oh, I remember going through the phases of traveling all over the country, being a so-called leader, doing hotel meetings, one person showing up, hanging out at Starbucks, chasing people in Walmart, begging for phone numbers, standing by the doors at the meeting, hoping they would show up, blowing up their phone, telling them to bring a bag of ice, trying to get them to get to the house. And I'm just like, I just think that it sucks. I just think it sucks. Here's why. I feel like we put on this cloak of, we put on this mask of naivety in these meetings and listening to our leaders who they act like times have not changed. And what most people don't realize is the door-to-door concept started back in the late 1800s by Mr. Hines himself. It was like 1865, when he went door-to-door selling. It wasn't ketchup at the time, but that's when door-to-door salesmen started. And I remember my husband getting a job fresh out of college doing door-to-door stuff to sell stuff. That's before, right when the internet was on the cusp of change. And it still was the rejection. It still was the don't answer the door. They treat you like you are an animal, and it's the same thing now. We treat people like they're naive. We treat people like they don't know what we're up to. We treat people like we can somehow magically convince them that they're going to change their mind to join my business because it's the best thing going, and we have the best compensation plan, and we're on the ground floor, and we use the same bull crap of a conversation, and it's like ineffective to the 10th power, and we wonder why we're not getting results, or we wonder why people quit, or we wonder why. I mean, it's like, are we really kidding ourselves? I think we get into a habit. I tell people all the time, my version is duplication sucks. And the reason why they say duplicate yourself, they say, you go out here and get five, that get five, that get five. That does not work. And the data proves that it never happens. Now, did the big wigs in Amway who still run the boards for being the top earners in the industry, did they do that? Yes. But what most people don't understand is half of their income or more comes from them selling their own products. You know, it's like we got to get with the times, and people have to use common sense. My mother would always say, common sense ain't that common. But we get caught up in this cyclone of we just don't want to accept what's going on, and we try to convince ourselves that we can somehow make people change the way that they think, and it's not going to happen. It's getting to a place where you understand, listen, yes, this is a relationship business. This is a relationship industry, but you want to build a relationship with people who want to build a relationship with you. You don't want to force a relationship. You don't want to be forcing people to show up at hotel meetings. You don't even want to go. You don't even want to go. You don't want to do it. You think it sucks, but your upline is telling you to do it because 5 years from now you'll be sitting on the beaches of the world making all this money, and that's another lie. You know, here's the deal, and this all goes back to purpose and all this stuff, right? Even in business, you have to be intuitive about how you build your business. And what I mean by that is I understand the whole concept of being coachable, but I also understand being intuitive. And you have to listen when your voice is telling you it's time for a shift and stop being in denial, because we're going to the external sources and saying, hey, you know, I've been doing what you told me to do. I made a list of my 50 family and friends, and I called them all, but no one's answering their phone anymore. And they're like, well, make another 50. Your voice is telling you, your spirit is telling you, this is not working, and you need to make a change. And the reason why a lot of us are afraid to make that change is because when we think about things like the internet, it's foreign. It's well, nobody around me has done it, and I don't want to be the first one to give it a try, because what if it don't work? Well, friends, what if it does? You know, we're results of that. As a matter of fact, I'm sharing the story with you because that was me. As a matter of fact, I was in my company. It was 2010. I was at the top of my game. I was the #1 person in my company. Still am get 3 to 4 calls a week from videos I did 2009. People still want to join me in that business that I left in 2010. But I went from Vegas to London, from London to Jamaica, and then came back here and went right back to Vegas. It was all this stuff going on. I was traveling. And I remember being in London for a company. I was invited to do an event over there in London. And I was with a couple of my business partners, and we're hanging out at the Buckingham Palace, and we're hanging out, you know, in different places across London, and they're shooting videos. And I was the one that started videos, you know, with our company, with the whole, hey, guys, you know, and everybody's doing it now. We're in London. Hey, we're in front of the Buckingham Palace, blah, blah, blah. And everyone's talking about the company and what we're doing. And then they was like, okay, Nick, you do a video. We're going to record you in front of the waterfall. And so I did my video, and I didn't mention anything about the company. And when I was done, one of my good friends, she's still one of my good friends to this day, she looked at me, she said, you're done, aren't you? I said, I'm done. I don't even want to talk about the company anymore. I'm done. I was at the company event, speaking in front of the room, talking about internet marketing, and they were pissed off at me that I flew all the way from the United States to come talk about Facebook when they wanted to talk about the product of the company. And I'm like, well, why'd you bring me here? Because I made my money by Facebook. I don't know what to tell you, you know, but they were upset with me, and I was upset with them because I realized I don't want to do this. I appreciate coming to London, but I built my empire using an internet, posting a few messages, reaching people all over the globe, built an organization of 10,000 people in 10 months, never leaving the comfort of my own home, to come here and talk to you about how to put the garment on. And not talk about how you can do what I just did, and I know what you're going to have to do this way. It's going to take you 5 years versus what it took me 10 months to do, if you even get it done in 5 years. And so my common sense kicked in and was like, Nick, it's done. You're done. You have officially graduated to the modern way of doing business, and there's no need to try to conform people who are stuck in a traditional way, and there's no need to frustrate yourself trying to stay in a company that's focuses on traditional methods. Leave. And I left in my prime. I walked away in my prime, making 5 figures a month, and still made 5 figures per month afterwards. But it was understanding that that was not a good fit for me. It did not work. It was not. I understood the concept of, you know, it's beautiful to travel the world, and I still want to do that. But to sit in front of a room to tell people about how to go do things that will take them 50 times more work to produce than what I did on the internet in just a few short months. It just didn't make sense because I knew what I was showing them was going to benefit them versus what the company wanted me to tell them, which worked, but it was a slow way of really getting results. And they brought me there because I had massive results. So it's like getting to a place where, you know, if you're watching this video and you're in network marketing and you're doing the traditional stuff, listen to yourself. Listen. Like, I understand the man at the front of the room is making X amount of dollars. But the truth is, do they really tell you how much money they make at the front of the room? I began to understand that the people in the front of the room ain't really making no money. And what they call money, I'm looking at them saying, well, I make that from one of my affiliate programs out of the 50 that I work. You know, the 50 little online income streams I have. You know, so it's getting clear on what works for you. You know, if you love the belly to belly, if you love making a list of family and friends, if you love cold calling people on the phone, going out and handing out DVDs and, you know, standing at the door hoping that your guests show up every single week for months and they don't show up, and you love looking at that check and it might be $2 and your upline's telling you one day it's going to come, you're going to be on the beaches of the world. If you love that, then stay right there. But if you are very intuitive with the fact that something's off, this is not working, and you need to create change, then by golly gee, click the link below. Because this is your solution, right? We're on here to tell you that times have changed, guys. We use smartphones for everything. We use smartphones for everything. Why should you not be a result that someone finds when they pick up their smartphone looking for a solution? That's what internet marketing is. It's, you got something to sell? Well, guess what? Everybody's buying online. You know, your product is the best thing since sliced bread. Well, hey, why don't you shoot a YouTube video about it since it's so awesome? You have a ground floor opportunity that any and everybody would love. We'll talk about it on Facebook. The point is you'd much rather have access to a device that at the drop of a post, I'm reaching every corner of the earth in milliseconds versus trying to go to my local hotel or my local Starbucks, interrupt people in their very delicious conversations over coffee, and try to give them my business card and my DVD and my book and say, can you watch this? And by the way, can I inconvenience you and your family for dinner time on Wednesday night to meet me at a hotel at 8 o'clock to see my business opportunity meeting where I'm going to have you doing the same thing for the next 2 years, bugging the life out of people and trying to get them to come to more hotel meetings. You just got to figure out what you want to do. It is what it is.
Wait.
Done that.
Nicole, we said you want to chase the cats, or you want to put the milk out and attract the cats to you?
Right, baby. Do you want to chase the cat and have them running from you, or do you want to be the milk for stray cats?
Right. Woo-hoo.
And on the internet, you become the milk. Because there's a whole lot of stray cats looking for some milk. Trust me, on the internet. You have more business than you want on the internet.
Powerful, powerful, powerful. I think I got you going on that one. I know we have some of our audience out there. I know Lisa Burnham says she needs that book that you just mentioned. And Carol Markowski, she says, you are bringing her to tears and goosebumps with your connection, Nicole. Thank you so, so much. And, you know, you said it. Listen, they need to click that link, all right, if they want to learn how to attract those people that they want. Attract, and if you don't know how to do it, we are here to help you, connect with you, and we want to show you, but you have to click the link. You have to make a decision. I think Nicole said it on the very beginning. You have to make a decision, and that's where it starts. A vision and a decision, and it should be to click the link below. Alicia, Greta, you want to say anything else?
All I have to say is click the link below.
Connect with us, powerful women. You know, whoever invited you to this hangout, they love you. They want success for you. I shared that Nicole was going to impart power into you, okay? And I believe she has done that. You are amazing, Nicole, and I think Mobile Money Mom, right? Your blog, and just, you're amazing. Alicia?
Thank you so much. When you're talking about your vision, I kept thinking about, um, that student that starting to learn going to sound like your emotions in it quite yet because you're still learning the ropes. When you have your heart into it, you have your vision into it, it's going to sound like music. It's going to sound like that melody, that heart that people are going, oh, you've got it now, and it's going to happen. So you have to go through those ropes like we have, finding, you have that heart, that vision, that desire out there, and just go for it, which is click the link below and just go through the steps to reach, to blossom in your vision that you have to share. So thank you so much. If there's nothing else, click the link below and get connected. And we'll see you the next week in the next Hangout, Tuesday, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.